Hi, friends. Good to see you again. All right, I've got another story for us today. This book is called The Relatives Came, written by Cynthia Rylant and illustrated, of course, the person that draws all the pictures is Stephen Gamble. Now take a look at this cover. What do you see? A car filled with people and a lot of suitcases on top. You're right, look at all those bags tied on top of the car. This must tell us this group of people in the car are traveling somewhere. They're either going somewhere or they're coming back from somewhere, huh? Now our other clue is the word relatives. Does anyone know what a relative is? The title is called The Relatives Came. What kinds of people come and visit you? Friends? Different parts of your family? Maybe you have a cousin or an aunt or an uncle or a grandma or a grandpa. These are all people in our family. We also call them relatives. Yeah, so the relatives came is talking about different people in their family that are coming to visit. I know some of you are going to see your grandma or grandpa this week. Others might have a chance to see some of their relatives or family or friends over Zoom like you and I. Yeah, well, let's read about this story and about their relatives coming to visit. I wonder what they'll do together. It was in the summer of the year when the relatives came. They came up from Virginia. They left when their grapes were nearly purple enough to pick, but not quite. There they are, packing up the car. They had an old station wagon that smelled like a real car, and in it they put an ice chest full of soda pop and some boxes of crackers and some bologna sandwiches. And up they came from Virginia. They left at 4 in the morning when it was still dark, before even the birds were awake. Why do you think they left so early? Maybe they have a long drive to get there. Check that out, they must, huh? They drove all day long and into the night. And while they traveled along, they looked at the strange houses and the different mountains, and they thought about their almost purple grapes back home. They thought about Virginia, but they thought about us too, waiting for them. Here they are waiting. So they drank up all their pop and ate all their crackers and traveled up all those miles until finally they pulled into our yard. What do you see here, friends? What's everyone doing? Yeah, they're hugging, just like our book from the other day. Remember, they were thankful for hugging because it made them feel good. It made them feel loved. Yeah. So when the relatives got there, they all gave each other lots of hugs. Then it was hugging time. Talk about hugging. Those relatives just passed us all around their car, pulling us against their wrinkled Virginia clothes, crying sometimes. They hugged us for hours. Then it was into the house, and so much laughing and shining faces and hugging in the doorways. You'd have to go through at least 4 different hugs to get from the kitchen to the front room. Those relatives. And finally, after a big supper, 2 or 3 times around, until we all got a turn at the table, there was quiet talk, and we were in 2s and 3s through the house. There sure are a lot of them, huh? The relatives weren't particular about beds, which was good, since there weren't any extras. So a few squeezed in with us, and the rest slept on the floor, some with their arms thrown over the closest person, or some with an arm across one person and a leg across another. It was different, going to sleep with all that new breathing in the house. There are a lot of relatives staying there, huh? Sure are. Oh my goodness. The relatives stayed for weeks and weeks. They helped us tend the garden, and they fixed any broken things they could find. What do you notice? What are they doing together? Yeah, someone's getting a haircut. Someone else is playing with some toys. Some are playing in cardboard boxes, or digging in the garden, or giving each other piggyback rides. How fun! So many fun things to do with your relatives, huh? I wonder what kinds of things you like to do with some of your family. They ate up all our strawberries and melons, then promised we could eat up all their grapes and peaches when we came to Virginia. But none of us thought about Virginia much. We were so busy hugging and eating and breathing together. Look at all those happy faces. Yeah, they must be enjoying their visit. Well, finally, after a long time, the relatives loaded up their ice chest and headed back to Virginia at 4 in the morning. We stood there in our pajamas and waved them off in the dark. We watched the relatives disappear down the road, and then we crawled back into our beds that felt too big and too quiet. We fell asleep. Now, why do you think they're too big and too quiet? Because no longer are the relatives in the bed with them, huh? And the relatives drove on all day long into the night. And while they traveled along, they looked at the strange houses and the different mountains, and they thought about their dark purple grapes waiting at home in Virginia. But they thought about us too, missing them, and they missed us. And when they were finally home in Virginia, they crawled into their silent, soft beds and dreamed about next summer. The end. What's going to happen next summer? What are they dreaming about? Yeah, all the fun things they're going to get to do when their relatives come to visit again. Yeah. Well, friends, I hope you have a great rest of your Thanksgiving week. And I look forward to hearing about all the things you've been able to do. I'll see you next time.